Princess Chichibu's Pearl Drop Tiara, a graceful symbol of imperial elegance. Let's talk about pearls. Not just any pearls, imperial pearls. Japanese imperial pearls, suspended from a diamond tiara, worn by one of the most elegant women the Showa period ever produced. We're looking at Princess Chichibu's Pearl Drop Tiara, and I want to understand why this particular piece, out of everything in Japan's imperial collection, feels so distinctly, so unmistakably Japanese.
The case makes itself, honestly. When you look at this tiara, the first thing you notice is movement. Most tiaras are static. They sit on the head and they command attention through sheer weight and sparkle. This one moves. The pearl drops, ranging from 8 to 12 millimeters in diameter, suspend from a diamond framework and catch light differently with every turn of the head. It has a quality that jewelers sometimes call living design. And that quality is deeply consistent with Japanese aesthetic values, the appreciation for transience, for natural beauty, for the way light behaves rather than simply the presence of light.
And the diamonds themselves, how are they arranged?
In classic Art Deco-inspired patterns, geometric, precise, intricate, brilliant cut diamonds providing the structural architecture, the scaffolding, if you will. And then from that disciplined geometric framework, the pearls drop. It's a beautiful tension between order and grace. The platinum construction, which was genuinely revolutionary for the period, made that delicate openwork possible. Earlier metalworking couldn't have achieved the fineness of that framework. Platinum gave the piece its almost ethereal quality, that sense that it's barely there, just a shimmer holding everything together.
Give us the dimensions, because I think people underestimate how substantial a piece like this actually is.
Approximately 19 centimeters wide and 8 centimeters tall, with an estimated total diamond weight of around 120 carats. So it is a serious, significant piece of jewelry, not a delicate little headband. And yet it never reads as heavy or imposing. The vertical emphasis of the pearl drops draws the eye downward along the wearer's face rather than outward across the head, which creates a sophisticated silhouette that actually flatters the wearer rather than overpowering her.
Now, the pearls. I want to spend a moment here, because the pearl element is not incidental. It is the whole point. Japan and pearls have a particular history.
An extraordinary history. Kokichi Mikimoto pioneered cultured pearl cultivation in Japan in the early 20th century, and what he achieved was genuinely revolutionary. He democratized something that had previously been entirely dependent on the luck of the oyster. Japanese Akoya pearls became world-renowned for two specific qualities: their exceptional luster, that deep, almost glowing iridescence, and their near-perfect roundness. By the late 1920s, when this tiara was entering Princess Chichibu's life, Japanese pearls had essentially transformed the global pearl market to where Japanese pearls in a tiara was not simply a style choice, it was a statement of national pride.
And in Japanese culture, specifically, what do pearls represent?
Purity, wisdom, feminine grace. These associations run deep in Japanese aesthetic and spiritual traditions, far older than the Meiji period or any Western influence. So when Princess Chichibu wore this tiara at imperial functions and diplomatic receptions, she was carrying multiple layers of meaning simultaneously. She was wearing Art Deco diamond geometry, thoroughly modern, thoroughly international. And she was wearing Japanese pearls, ancient in their cultural resonance, revolutionary in their cultivation. The piece held both things at once, which is precisely what Princess Chichibu herself represented.
Tell us about her, because I think the tiara only fully makes sense when you understand the woman.
Princess Chichibu, born Setsuko Matsudaira, was a woman of remarkable sophistication. She had grown up partly in diplomatic circles, understood the wider world, brought genuine warmth and intellectual curiosity to the imperial family. By the late 1920s and through the 1930s, she emerged as one of the most prominent figures in Japanese high society, attending imperial weddings, cultural performances, diplomatic receptions. She was, in the truest sense, a cultural ambassador. And this tiara suited her perfectly, because it was never about overpowering a room. It was about gracing one.
The tiara's documented appearances begin in the late 1920s, Walk us through those decades.
The late 1920s and 1930s were her years of greatest public visibility, and the tiara appeared consistently at the significant events of that era. Imperial occasions, arts patronage, international diplomatic gatherings where Japan was working hard to establish its cultural presence on the world stage. Then the 1940s came, and with them the war. Like many imperial treasures, the Pearl Drop Tiara largely disappeared from public view during that period. The imperial family's focus, understandably, was elsewhere. It was a time when displaying magnificent jewelry would have been deeply inappropriate, and the imperial household understood that.
And then, the post-war years?
A gradual return. Princess Chichibu lived until 1995. A long life, a full life, and the tiara accompanied her through it. Following her passing, it remained within the imperial collection, and it has appeared occasionally on subsequent generations of imperial women at formal occasions. It didn't retire with her. These objects don't retire. They wait, and they pass forward.
There is something I want to name directly, because I think our viewers, women who have watched their own lives move through many decades, will feel this. This tiara is not trying to impress anyone. It is not the largest, not the heaviest, not the most diamonds, and yet it is, by any measure, one of the most beautiful pieces in the entire imperial collection.
It tells us that Princess Chichibu had extraordinarily assured taste. True elegance has never been about volume. The Pearl Drop Tiara succeeds because it works with the wearer rather than competing with her. The movement of the pearls, the delicacy of the platinum framework, the vertical line that flatters the face, every design choice serves the woman wearing it. That is rare, and I think women of a certain experience in life recognize it immediately, because we've learned, sometimes the hard way, that the things that last, the things that truly matter, are never the loudest ones in the room.
Dr. Historian. That is the perfect place to end. A diamond framework holding lustrous pearl drops. Japanese craftsmanship at its most refined. A princess who wore it as naturally as she wore her own dignity. And a tiara that is still, nearly a century later, one of the most graceful objects Japan's imperial family has ever produced.
Grace endures. That's the whole story.